it is with great honor at this time that I'm going to ask Steve and Wendy to the microphone. We'll have Wendy provide you all with some information regarding why we have an 18-hour event, and she'll be reading a poem. And so at this time, please welcome Wendy and Steve to the stage.
Is this for short people?
They set it up for me, Wendy.
Okay. Thank you, Colleen. I feel extremely honored and very grateful to be up here this evening in front of all of you and among all of you. A lot of times when you hear the word cancer, you don't associate a lot of good with that word. But when I look out right now and I think about the next 18 hours, that is good. Actually, that's not good. It's awesome. So why are we here? Relay for Life is an 18-hour journey, providing the light of day and dark of night to parallel the physical effects, emotions, and mental state of a cancer patient while undergoing treatment. Relay for Life begins during the day when the sun is shining bright and the excitement and energy is flowing through the community. The setting sun symbolizes the time when a patient is diagnosed with cancer. The day is getting darker, and this represents the cancer patient's state of mind as he or she feels that life is on an unknown journey. As the evening goes on, it gets cooler and darker, just as the emotions of a cancer patient does. Around 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., relay participants have been walking for hours and may begin to feel tired and the desire to take a break or go home. This represents the time when a cancer patient starts treatment. It is at this time that many patients become exhausted, some sick, not wanting to go on, possibly wanting to give up. Just as the cancer patient cannot give up on his or her own treatment, relay participants push through this phase, showing unity with cancer patients around the world. By 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., relayers are truly exhausted, but the end is in sight, and they begin to believe they will make it to the morning celebration. This symbolizes the coming of the end of treatment for the cancer patient who is tired, but who has hope and motivation to push through until the end of treatment. The sun rising represents the end of a treatment for the cancer patient. They see the light at the end of the tunnel and know that life will go on. The morning light brings on a new day full of life and excitement for new beginnings for the cancer patient. As a participant, you will feel the brightness of the morning and know that the end of the relay is close at hand. You will feel triumphant in the knowledge that you, one person, has made an impact in the fight against cancer. When you leave the relay, think of the cancer patient leaving his or her last treatment. Just as you are exhausted and weak, so is that person after treatment. But a new day has arrived, and we are continuing to take up the fight against cancer. Remember, there is no finish line until we find a cure. What cancer cannot do. Cancer is so limited. It cannot cripple love. It cannot shatter hope. It cannot corrode faith. It cannot eat away peace. It cannot destroy confidence. It cannot kill friendship. It cannot shut out memories. It cannot silence courage. It cannot reduce eternal life. It cannot quench the spirit. Okay. I walk around a track today I walk to help a disease go away. I walk because there is a need. I walk so that bodies can be freed. I walk to give a small child hope. I walk to help someone cope. I walk for a husband or a wife. I walk to help prolong a life. I walk with my head held high. I walk for the one about to die. I walk excitedly, not demure. I walk to help find a cure. I walk for everyone to see. I walk for you. I walk for me. The man I am about to introduce to you is an amazing man with truly a remarkable story of courage and hope. He is someone's son. He is someone's brother. He is someone's friend. He is someone's coworker. He is a father. And he is my husband. And he is a cancer survivor. And I am very honored to introduce you to my husband, Stephen Fiebig.
Hi. Hi. Everybody bring their Kleenex. Public speaking is hard and uncomfortable, so if you guys want a picture of me naked, that would be okay. My name is Stephen Vincent Fiebig, and I wear 100 different hats on a day-to-day basis. My wife Wendy and I own a restaurant called the Rusty Nail in Kent, and I'm a father and a husband and a phys ed teacher, and the list goes on and on and on. So every day I'm constantly doing something different. But we're all here today because somebody that we know at some point or another got diagnosed with that word cancer. And that's a scary, crazy thing. And I don't know, I don't remember this disease being the way it is now when I was a kid. It seems like it's more prevalent, and everywhere you turn, it's just in your face. But hopefully the money that is raised tonight and all across the country will go to do wonderful things, and that we can finally put an end to this and stop having Relay for Life. But in all seriousness, thank you guys for being here. It means the world to me, my family, and I know that these guys put so many hours in to make this event possible. So give them a round of applause, please. Thank you.
You're welcome.
When I was 27 years old, my twin brother Brian was diagnosed with leukemia. And it was 2005, and it was February, and he had what he thought was a spider bite. And I can remember volunteers wheeling him off on, that hospital bed into rooms for different procedures, and getting blood transfusions and operations and all that kind of crazy stuff that I know a lot of you guys have dealt with in the past. But he stayed so positive through the whole thing. It was always a thumbs up. It was always a smile. It was always positive. And I could tell you stories all night long about some of the crazy things that he did. But what I hope that you'll take with you is just to stay positive. That's the message I learned from him. My brother passed away in October of 2005. And that was really the person that taught me about life. And that's really when I started thinking about my own mortality and how to try to really live day to day. And thinking back, the message was clear that material things don't really matter, that money doesn't really matter. Yeah, right. And that you can't take it with you. So the only thing that really matters is people, and that's why we're all here. But I never saw anybody treat people more fairly, accept everybody regardless, and live an honest life of humor and music, who's a musician, and content. And I know a lot of you guys have dealt with the death of a family member or a friend, and I never felt anything quite like that. When I held his hand as he passed away, I remember thinking to myself, it's okay to die. It's okay. It's a part of life. It's a part of the cycle. And when I got home that night, the stars never shone so brightly. That was the clearest sky I've ever seen. But I didn't even know it was possible to feel that way before that. I was just numb. It was just nothingness. I just felt empty. I have a friend named Matt, and he lost a brother in Afghanistan just about a year ago. And when his brother was killed by an IED, I told him that the gift that his brother gave him was invincibility. And you think of that in terms of superheroes and immortals. But I'm invincible, and Matt is invincible, and perhaps you are too. Because when something like that happens to you, you do become invincible. And if you can cope and remember with a smile and embrace their lives in your heart and in your mind, then you can deal with anything. All right. Whew. Heads or tails? Nice job with the national anthem, my man. Heads? You're right. Heads or tails?
Yeah.
It was tails. That was my life in 2006. I had just gotten married, making my wife the luckiest woman on earth. And we were on our honeymoon in Vegas. And I don't want to get too graphic, but I was constipated. I had trouble going to the bathroom. And I remember thinking, what the heck did I eat? Was it that Paris buffet? So I came home, had a colonoscopy, and my doctor told me that I was the youngest person that he ever diagnosed with colorectal cancer. And I was like, oh boy, lucky me. What do I get, a trophy or an award or a plaque or something? And my doctor told me that I was a coin flip to survive. And how do you make heads or tails of something like that? Should I pick heads or tails? And what would you pick? And I like to gamble, but this wasn't a bet I wanted to make. And so you do what anybody who gets diagnosed with cancer does. You go to Google. And you start reading and filling your head full of statistics and survival rates, and the computer screen becomes blurry as you're trying to see through your tears. And then you realize at the time that these statistics don't really matter. I mean a whole lot. And most of these charts and web pages are prefaced with, well, everyone's different and you can beat it, and you do it anyways. But the hardest thing about cancer is that it tries to steal your dignity and your strength and your determination and your motivation and your fascination. And when you're going through cancer treatment, you have no appetite, no energy, and motivation. But looking back now, it does make you appreciate the small things that much more. The food really tastes amazing these days, especially at the Rusty Nail. And even the biggest tasks seem doable. And when you're really tired and you can't get through the day, it's still not as bad as going to those cancer treatments. And so you find a way to push through, even when you're really tired. But I've been through 4 major surgeries. I've had 16 inches of my intestines out. I've had 3 lung operations, 2 ribs taken out, a piece of surgical metal in my back, My body's a roadmap of scars, but cancer can't hurt me because I'm invincible. You can't hurt me any more than I've already been hurt. It's impossible. And so I started laughing in the face of cancer. And it's a big, scary, ugly monster, but I laugh at it and I combat it with a healthy diet and exercise and vitamin D and a positive attitude. And it's not always an easy thing to do, but that's what I've tried to do. All right, wrapping this up here. I know everyone's getting restless. Sorry. That's the lessons that I've learned through all this, is just to keep smiling and stay positive